Mhm.
And he was like, what's your favorite episode of Bill Nye? And he's like, probably the one where he on my dead grandpa.
Field of Screams is a 2025 comedy horror film. It follows a group of young people who are helping their friend clean out his late grandfather's farmhouse and are terrorized by a living scarecrow who has his own stake in his dead creator's property. So before we kick off this episode here, I did have the pleasure of interviewing Alex Mode and Evan Runkle, who are the writers and directors of this movie. So if you want to listen to that interview, I'll put it down in the description. But I say this because I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible. When I talk about this movie, I'm going to be honest. Just wanted to throw that out there that I have interacted with them before.
You got connections.
Yeah, of course. But also, I will say this is a low-budget indie movie, so it's going to be graded on a curve a little bit. Like, I obviously can't stack this up to like a Hollywood film. So take everything we say with a grain of salt in this episode.
We're just being realistic.
Exactly. So, with that, Stephanie, what were your initial thoughts on this movie?
I think the concept is interesting. I wasn't expecting there to be multiples of the Scarecrows. I didn't see that coming at all. But my one holdup was how slow it was taking to get to it. I think I checked the time too, and we were like 40 minutes left of the movie at that point where he finally killed somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And it was starting to kind of lose that suspense and become more or less this like grief story.
Okay.
Which is like fine. There's a lot of horror movies about grief. But for me, it was personally a little triggering because I have a father who has a business who's always been like trying to push that on me. Like, oh, you could always come back and take care of this business, but what if I don't want to, kind of thing. And then what ramifications does that mean for the person that doesn't want that or then eventually does and his family doesn't? So
okay. So like taking over the farm in this instance.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I got you.
How about you?
Yeah, I liked it. To start off, I was actually really impressed by this. I was surprised to see the length. I didn't think it was going to be a feature-length film, but it absolutely is, to your point. I think it's like an hour and 40 minutes. So I was like really surprised off the bat on that. I will say, with it being so long, I think we could have shaved like maybe 20, 25-ish minutes off of there. I think some of the scenes were drawn out a little too long, so I definitely agree with you there. But before we talk about characters, I will say I do appreciate the queer representation with Alan and Justin.
Yeah, definitely. I was not expecting them either, but I was like, yay,
right.
You.
I was like, oh, that's good. I mean, being in a same-sex relationship myself, I'm like, oh, this is great. And then the second part to that is it wasn't like the plot point, like a main thing. Like there was one instance where Justin mentions like, oh, your grandfather, would he be okay with this? But outside of that, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was like a nice like little speed bump, and we just moved on from that. So because as soon as they mentioned it, I was like, are we going to steer into how the Scarecrow's going to hate them because they're gay?
Oh, not the homophobic Scarecrow.
Right.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, it wasn't a big thing. And at the end, spoiler alert, they stayed together and they didn't like. One of them didn't die. It wasn't like a bury your gays trope or anything like that. So I really appreciate that because they didn't have to do that. Like you could have had any, combination of sexes couple and it wouldn't have changed the story at all, which I think is a plus in my opinion.
Yeah. And I think there is something to say about like the difficulty in a relationship when a parent or a grandparent, even in this case, dies. And then like that tension it creates in the relationship as one person is grieving them, trying to pack up their things, but trying to also remember them. Mm-hmm. And then the other person in the couple is trying to be like, really, are you going to keep these empty bottles from like 70 years ago or whatever? Just being a realist again was really sentimental versus like, this is the last thing they touched or whatever.
Alan, this is still a lot of stuff.
Oh, I know. I figured we'd take it all to my mom's and just worry about it later.
I hear you, but you're taking way too much stuff and you're only leaving a little bit for the auction.
No, okay? Give me a break.
Look, I know you need help and you need time, but I'm just trying to help. I'm not trying to be like a dick. Right?
Then stop fucking being one, Justin.
We'll delve into characters a little bit later, but like Justin, I initially wrote in my notes, I said, I appreciate the representation with their relationship, despite Justin being kind of a butthead. I do think by the end of it, you could kind of see both sides of the situation, to your point. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I honestly, maybe because I've been in the situation where I was Justin. So,
Oh, no.
I mean, not as harsh, I don't believe, but like my spouse has lost someone. So I was the other person to be there to rationalize and tell them, like, do we need this, or what are we going to do going forward? What's your plan? And still be there to support them while they transition through that. So yeah, it's obviously grief is so complicated for the person going through it, but it affects people. Like, it echoes outside of that.
Yeah.
Just the person that it's affected by.
I see it, but I'm like, I'm not sympathizing with Justin right this moment. Sir, calm down.
There's a couple of times where I was like, okay, he looks excited. Maybe we should reconsider and, give in, Justin. But then a couple of times he snapped at Justin, and I was like, all right, maybe Justin got a point.
Oh, somewhere in my notes I wrote, Alan is scary when he's angry.
Yeah.
Like, there was a legit jump scare for me. He just snapped. He was like, I don't know. I don't remember what he said. But he just like...
There's a couple of times where I was like, whoa, where did that come from?
I mean, look, he's going through a lot right now. I've been there myself, so I can't be too mad at Alan, but it was genuinely scary. I was like, no.
There's two specific instances that I can think of. They're lying in bed, and Justin's like trying to break the tension by talking about Bill Nye, the science guy. And he was like, what's your favorite episode of Bill Nye? And he's like, probably the one where he shit on my dead grandpa.
So what was your favorite Bill Nye episode growing up?
I don't know. Do you remember the one where he shits all over my dead grandpa?
And I was like, whoa, don't remember that episode.
Wait, you don't remember the part where he shit on the grave? Like, that's my favorite.
Specifically, Alan's dead grandpa.
That's my favorite childhood episode, actually.
Everyone's got a favorite.
Look into it.
Then there was the other instance where Shane, I believe, is playing that song out in, like, I don't know, it's like a little
greenhouse
shed
thing.
or greenhouse. And I swear when I look down at Alan, like, all grouped together, he looks like he's like vibing to the song, even though it's not a good song. But then all of a sudden he snaps. I was like, oh, he was upset.
What do you guys like?
Hey guys, I'm gonna go get some air.
Alan, you guys said not to do Wonderwall.
He was being an asshole. You have every right to be mad.
I'm not fucking mad!
I mean, I'd be upset too if Shane was...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
playing.
Shane's awful. But
Shane. We're not today, Satan. Not today.
no. Cancel Shane.
So in terms of other parts of the plot, I really liked the magic and ritual elements. I wish we saw more of that. I thought out of all the side characters, I think Lisa was my favorite.
Yeah,
and I wish there was
mine too.
more there.
Yeah. There's also, I don't know if this is something I missed or like a small plot hole where she's looking at this book and her boyfriend also, what was his name? Luke is looking at it as well. And she's like, I'll tell you after. And then like Luke is like essentially like, basically your grandpa was a murderer. And I was like, oh, I would love to know more about how all of that went down, because the Scarecrow's name is Billy, which is Alan's dad's name. So something must have happened, an accident or a murder, but we never really go into that.
Oh man, I don't want to talk bad about your grandpa, Alan, but guy was really fucked up. Your grandpa's a murderer, man.
Jesus, Luke.
What is?
No, there shouldn't be this many of them. It says that he only made one.
I'll explain when we get out of here.
That is not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, we see like little moments where it flashes to the grandfather being kind of weird. Like,
silly guy. Yeah, like dancing
silly,
in front of him.
But also kind of disturbing at the same time.
Yeah,
like,
I was like, is this Alan's flashback? Or Billy's? I guess it doesn't matter. Either way, it's weird.
And when they first go to the farmhouse, they're like, oh yeah, his dowsing rods. Like, he did not seem the type to be into this kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But I guess that goes to show, like, again, how far will you go to bring back your loved one?
No, not bring her back again.
We literally just talked about bring her back, and I feel like he was on the same website as she was.
Yes, really. They were chatting with each other.
Exactly.
He was the first person. She was the second. Well, I like how they gave the dowsing rods an alternative job rather to magic, because I only knew dowsing rods as magic to listen to ghost paranormal kind of stuff. I didn't know that you could use them to look for water.
Yeah, I feel like I heard that before. I could just be making that up, but yeah. So maybe
Yeah.
that's
So I
what
was
it
like,
started as.
nice cover.
Yeah.
nice little cover for your completely normal dowsing rods.
The last thing I was curious about is it kind of turns into a slasher, but then at the end we have like this kind of weirdly sweet moment where he's talking to his dad or is it his grandfather Scarecrow? I actually kind of got mixed up on what Scarecrow it was.
It must be Billy.
I think so.
I believe it was Billy, so the dad Scarecrow, technically.
I almost wish we explored more of that weird relationship where he's kind of he finds his father was turned to a scarecrow and like what he does with that as opposed to turning into a slasher movie.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, my dad's alive, and now how do I navigate the fact he's a scarecrow?
Right.
But, I mean, that's like a whole different kind of movie.
Yeah.
So, but I would be curious to explore that side of it.
That makes me think of the movie Jack Frost,
I
where
was
the
about
dad
to
dies
say-
and he's a snowman, and everyone's just like, well, let's just make that work.
Yeah, this is fine. Nothing bizarre about this.
Yeah. All we have to do is worry for when the snow melts.
I almost wish we saw more of just like before they started just killing things. Like, wait a minute.
Knowing, like, yes, it is somehow his dad, but he also did kill all of his friends, so... Like, oh, I mean, bygones be bygones, I guess. He's still my dad.
Right. And it's funny because at the very end, the dad like walking away and Alan goes, oh, by the way, like, don't kill anybody else.
Just the hate. Please don't kill anyone.
Yeah.
Not to mention, the actors who played the Scarecrow did a phenomenal job at the physical acting. So also want to give kudos to them because that was really good.
Right. Like the slowness, like you could tell they didn't really have bones, the way they were moving, and like their heads just kind of like always like sagged one way or another. Yeah. It was interesting. I thought too, it would ultimately end with him letting his dad's spirit go and he would take the heart out of Billy. So then, no more alive scarecrows just in case. And also dad gets to move on. He's like, nah, good luck in your future scarecrow life. Like,
yeah, goodbye. Goodbye, cruel world.
Goodbye, cruel world.
Bye, cruel world.
He just walks away.
okay. The farm doesn't exist. He sold it or burned it down for the most part. So, yeah, I guess Billy's just going to go find a job.
Flash forward 8 months later, he's working at McDonald's in the drive-thru. Before we continue discussing Field of Screams, we have a quick message from our friends over at Horror Hour with the Hannas.
Sheriff, we got a lot to talk about.
Welcome to Twin Peaks. I'm your Twin Peaks veteran, Special Agent Matt Hanna.
And I'm your first-time viewer, Sheriff Hanna.
And each week, we're visiting David Lynch and Mark Frost's Twin Peaks on our new show, Welcome to Twin Peaks, a Twin Peaks rewatch podcast.
Entering the town of Twin Peaks.
We're talking dreams, damn fine coffee.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
Back we're talking mysteries.
And asking the important questions like, who really killed Laura Palmer? Are the owls what they seem? And why does this town feel like a nightmare you don't want to wake up from?
It is happening again.
Whether you're a longtime Twin Peaks resident or stepping into the Black Lodge for the very first time, Welcome to Twin Peaks is your guide through the woods.
What kind of fantastic trees have you got growing around here?
New episodes every week wherever you get podcasts.
And be sure to follow our socials at Welcome to Twin Peaks Podcast for schedules and opportunities to call and write into the show.
I'm gonna turn it upside down!
The mysteries are dense and the secrets are dark.
We'll see you in Twin Peaks with a fresh cup of coffee.
So going through the characters, we kind of mentioned Alan already, who's our main character. His grandfather died, and then his boyfriend Justin, and I wrote it to be the sad boy and then his annoying city slicker boyfriend. So how do you feel about them as a pair?
I wasn't seeing it at first. And plus, since the friends seem so anti-Justin and being supportive of Justin, I was like, has Justin hit Alan or something? Because they Luke seems like very into like the fact that Justin is not supportive, not committed, not anything for Alan, not anything good. So I was like, what's going on here? What did Justin ultimately do? Is it just this moment?
Well, you got something to say, Luke?
I was just thinking you probably have a pretty good poker face.
You know, you never really liked me, Luke. Any particular reason? Or is it just something about me?
Oh, chill, it's not because you're gay.
You sure about that?
Fuck you for saying that. And no, it's because you're a shitty fucking boyfriend.
They're all kind of assholes too, so it's kind of, I guess, easy to see why they're almost like friends of convenience in a weird way. Like they don't seem to really like each other.
Yeah, the friend group is so weird. The relationships.
Yeah.
I will say, like a lot of them seem tropey, which I think was intentional. Maybe not. I mean, I don't want to jump too far ahead in the other characters, but some of them are very one note. So
yeah, and I know it's also because it's a slasher, so you have to have them kind of be like just cannon fodder as well. So it doesn't matter; they're just there to die. So
yeah, I mean, it's not like a bad thing. Obviously, like they play the role that they're meant to play.
Yeah,
but just as a group dynamic, like obviously Alan is very sad with everything going on. The rest of the friends like don't seem to fucking care, and that just could be
not reading the room at all.
I'm like, guys, help somebody, please. And then
help before Alan completely loses it and
Right.
kills all of us. Like
Exactly. I will say back to Luke really quick. I think he is just very protective of Alan. So like the default is I don't like you. You have to earn my trust kind of a thing with Justin. So he mentioned they've been together for over a year. I think it was like a year and a half or something.
Yeah.
Which is like a long time, but I think I could see Luke still being like, fuck this guy. Like, I don't trust him still.
I don't know how frequently they see him. Maybe it's like they're only their third or fourth time meeting him. So maybe there's reason to have that guard up still. But yeah, I was like, what? Did Justin just get out of prison? Like, what's happening?
I mean, we kind of get a glimpse into his demeanor. So maybe he's just not very open or empathetic most times, so maybe that's just where it stems from. So then moving to Lisa and Luke, we mentioned them both already, but Lisa was definitely my favorite. I put her as vegan / hippie / witch ? And stoner.
I don't know. Lisa got everything going on. I liked her a lot. Let's just stick with Lisa, Alan, and Justin, I guess.
Right. Lisa was the star of the show, I think.
Yeah, honestly.
She was the nicest too. So I gravitated towards her. Then we have Britt. Oh, Britt. She should have been dead before the Scarecrow even got to her with the amount of alcohol she was drinking.
Yes.
I'm like, ma'am, please.
Not the time either. Like, you brought a moonshine and you're like, we'll just get trashed when we're supposed to be cleaning out this house for demolition.
If you're going to have to go through something like that, you might as well be drunk out of your mind, right? So she's your typical party girl, and I feel like she's the catalyst to the killings that start. She's the first one to die because she thought Shane was the Scarecrow. And she's like, yeah, he's definitely selling this farm. And the Scarecrow's like, the hell he is.
But the money will be nice. Screw this place. Alan's gonna be rich. Oh, man. Rich guys throw the best parties. Shane, why you got that weird mask on?
Yeah, that's honestly, I feel like what's taking so long for the Scarecrow to act. He's just kind of, just quietly
existing.
Yeah, meandering around the house. Sometimes he looks at them while they're sleeping, but he just kind of goes on. Britt, one person to tell him that you're selling that farm, and he's like, oh shit.
And now everyone must be punished. I mean, not everyone dies. Spoiler, I think it's just Britt and Shane. Well, Lisa.
Everyone, aside from Luke makes it out, which is crazy because I was like, well, Lisa's got to be close to the end, essentially.
Yeah, I was actually...
She would have to stay alive to give them the information, I thought.
Yeah. I was confused about whether Lisa died because, like, it seems like she did, and then they drag her... well, they don't drag. They carry her body out of the house and then put her in the car. So I'm like, is she dead? Or are they gonna like take her to the hospital? Like, what's happening with Lisa over here?
I believe they were only taking Justin to the hospital because he got a concussion. Lisa was dead. They just didn't want to leave her body there. Everybody else was like, fuck you. But
Oh, okay. That's what I thought, but part of me is like,
as far as I understood,
don't touch the bodies. Like, don't touch them. Call the police. Like,
right.
don't.
You're still going to have to explain this to someone. What were your thoughts on the kills, too? Like, did you find them suspenseful at all? Or
kind of wish there was more gore. I think all the kills like happened pretty quickly. Like,
yeah.
Shane died, and they like cuts to him, and he's in the middle of being killed out of nowhere, in my opinion.
What are you gonna do? What else you got, Grandpa's boy?
In one instance, there was Shane that was telling Alan how Justin was hitting on him when we know that was Uno reversed. And I love that Alan was like, yeah, no.
I know.
That definitely didn't happen.
Yeah, so separate from the kill really quick, I really enjoyed that part. That didn't become a thing. Where it's like, what do you mean, Justin, dude? It was hitting on you. Oh my gosh, fight. I thought that was funny. That he's like, yeah, fuck off, Shane.
There's a part where they're like, oh, they can't get in the house, and they're watching them kind of like circle around the windows and stuff. And then all of a sudden, Lisa does her spell and basically turns around and runs into the knife, essentially.
I'm like, Lisa, no, go the other way. What are you doing, ma'am? This is my way out. It's fine.
Yeah, she's like, no, I'll hold them off. It's fine. Yeah, just it felt like a couple of times it was just like they turn around and they're being stabbed and then it's done.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty realistic, at least. Like, I would be on the ground, too, after being stabbed one time. So, you know?
Yeah,
hey,
exactly.
I'll take it. The one time, I think it was definitely Lisa and somebody else. It might have been Luke. When they first see the Scarecrow, and they're, like, fighting it back with a pitchfork, and Lisa's like, drop it. I'm like, no.
He's wearing Britt's hat. You wearing Britt's hat? You killed Britt. Look, give me this. There's no blood. There's full fucking blood.
Down.
What the fuck?
Don't offend the Scarecrow with the pitchfork? I don't know.
The Scarecrow with the
right.
pitchfork. So jumping over to the Scarecrows themselves, what did you think about their design?
I liked it. I liked how we saw them being created. At first I didn't get it. I was like, oh, all of a sudden he's just going to make a second one, because I didn't think he had any motivation to kill at that point. So he's just like, yeah, I need a buddy. So
I need a little friend.
I need a little friend, and we could just kind of meander together. Yeah, I liked the design. Like we said before, kudos to the actors for portraying that physicality.
Mm-hmm.
I think it really adds to that effect with what they were able to do as well, with considering their budget and costumes.
I thought they were really good too. I do wish they were a little scarier. They did seem a little like more on the silly side, but I guess but at the same time, it's a scarecrow. Like, you wouldn't purposely make a scarecrow scary. So I don't know if, like, in the movie they transformed a little bit. I don't know, but they were more silly to me. So that was like one critique on it.
I think that might have been just because it takes so long for them to kill, one, and then two, just like the blank face, and we're always supposed to remember that it's Alan's dad, so he has to be somewhat sympathetic as well. So how scary can he really be?
Yeah, I will.
If we want him to come back and love daddy later.
Yeah, I did feel bad at one point. I think he was just sitting on the couch, the Scarecrow, and like, while having a blank face, I got the emotion coming through somehow.
Yeah,
I was like, this is really weird that I could like sense what he's feeling. So I thought just that was really well done. Like, I just felt for the Scarecrows every once in a while. I was like, okay, even though you're doing these bad things right now, I sympathize.
Yeah, and with the grandfather dying too. At first, did you notice that before the grandfather died, that he saw a picture break, and then he was like, oh, I knew it was coming sometime. And then he says, Billy, I have to tell you something. And then he just keels over. Did you notice that the picture broke when he was holding it, or
No.
he picked up a picture and I think it was him and it was broken.
I didn't.
The frame or the glass. So I think he took that as like, death is upon you.
Oh, maybe as part of his dark magic, he knows when he's going to die. Because I will say,
Maybe.
I kind of missed how the grandfather died because I was actually like taking my notes and I like look up and he is like slumped down dead. And I was like, wait, what exactly happened just now?
He had a very, very quick heart attack,
Yeah.
I think, and then just all of a sudden gone.
Right.
But I did sympathize for Billy too, because at first I thought, oh, he's trusting this random scarecrow because I didn't know the connection. I thought he was just kind of a weird person he let in off of his porch and had dinner with. And he's like, oh no, Billy, let me find you to tell you something. And I thought Billy would stab him then, but no, Billy was very sad to see Grandpa go.
I was like, oh no.
No.
I'm sad now.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be sad at this Killer Scarecrow movie.
Right.
With it being lower budget, I do think, especially with lighting and composition, it is harder. But some of these shots I really wanted to call out looked really good. Like specifically, there's one scene where Justin and Alan are standing in the doorway, and there was a little bit of like a depth of field going on. I thought was really good. And then at the very end, the atmosphere with the Scarecrow and the dad, I thought that was so well done.
It came across so kind of whimsical and calming, but also like a little bit sorrowful because he's saying goodbye to his dad too. He didn't even realize he would be doing that here. But yeah, I get that. I get that. As well as there's a nice scene too. I guess they really like took advantage of those daytime shots. Like when they're out at the car, that was a nice lighting shot as well.
With Lisa and Luke? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes, and they're talking about the table, and then like the sun's kind of like slowly setting in the back. So it's very nice, pretty picture there. The only one where I was like, oh, I can tell that this is day was when Justin goes back into the house to get blankets, and then Shane comes in to proposition him. I was like, it is fully daytime. It was so bright in the room.
It's hard. It was hard to tell if that was just the studio lights they set up or it was daytime.
It was just so bright, even for like if you put a light on in a one room, it seemed very...
it could be a light, like a studio
really?
light. Having worked with those, first of all, I will say lighting is the worst fucking part of anything. I hate it. It's so hard to, at least for me, getting lighting, getting rid of shadows, etc., etc. But yeah, there's some parts where it's like, I can't tell if that's just a really bright light. Is that meant to be in the movie light, a production light? Is it daytime?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Funny enough, I was just talking with our friend Matt about how it's so funny that whenever you watch movies, you can see like a lamp every 2 steps, basically. And he's like, oh, it's just so you can cheat the light. And then if anyone says, how is there a shadow there or whatever, then you could be like, there's a light here, there's a light there.
Yeah. Duh. Lights cast shadows.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to figure out. So for our ratings, we'll rate 4 aspects of the film out of 3. We'll total that up to get our overall scary rating. So Stephanie, what did you rate Field of Screams?
Okay, I gave plot a 2. I gave suspense a 0. I'm sorry, it's just the slowness of the scarecrows and the running into the knives and stuff. It seemed a little lacking there.
Okay.
Atmosphere, I gave it a 1. Not because, like, not to lower it because it's not creepy or anything. And I do love those lighting shots. It's just not like multiple dynamic haunted places. It's all in this one place, all on a farm. I guess there is some more dangers that you could add into a farm, just living the farm life, like how Britt meets her demise going through the wood chipper. That would be like an accident on a farm if you really think about it.
Yeah.
It could be. And then villain, I gave a 1. And because I wasn't sure like the motivation of the scarecrow for some time, and then I guess just not selling the farm, making friends. And then point, I said yes, 1 point extra.
So 5 out of 13.
How about you?
Okay.
Yeah. How about you?
For my ratings, I gave plot a 2. I gave suspense a 1. Atmosphere a 1. Villain a 1. And I did give it my point for a 6 out of 13. I love the idea of living scarecrows. Like one of my favorite Goosebumps books and episodes is Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. I just wish
I
they
don't
were.
know that one, actually.
You gotta watch it. It's so good.
Okay.
I mean, it's not, but I love it.
It's not.
It's not good, but I love it myself. I just wish they were a tad scarier or maybe more vengeful. And I think with the slasher elements, I could have seen this gone a more like folk horror tale. Kind of like I already mentioned, like where, he's grieving his father and figuring out like, okay, I found out my father's a scarecrow. What does that mean? So I found that interesting where it kind of took that approach as well.
Yeah. Because I could see where you could kind of like twist this and make it more or less the dad being a scarecrow wants to keep his son on the farm where they both loved it. And then he, the son's wavering on whether or not he can actually maintain this farm, keep the farm, and like packing up his grandpa's stuff. And then the dad could see it as a threat that whenever anybody comes to help him, that he's going to be taking him away. And then that could be a new motivation to kill off the friends. So then they could stay together.
Yeah, exactly. Or like just the dark magic that was used to make him corrupt him or something. But,
yeah, true.
Just some thoughts there. But, all right.
I like that.
Yeah. Thank you all for watching this video. Please be sure to give it a like if you enjoyed it. And of course, subscribe to our channel to be notified when we post new episodes. And you can watch this movie, Field of Screams, on Tubi for free.
It's also on Amazon Prime if anyone wants to do Prime instead of Tubi.
Yeah, check it out.
You can follow us on social media using 13 Degrees of Screams.
This has been 13 Degrees of Screams, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.